Well, right now we're moving on to our next session and we're talking about how to increase SMEs' business model resilience through digital initiatives in the internet age. And especially amidst the post COVID 19, small and medium businesses need to leverage digital resources to have a distinct competitive edge. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're elated to be joined by Director, Small and Medium Businesses, Facebook India, Ms. Archana Vora. Thank you so much, Ms. Vora, for joining us today. I'd now like to pass the live baton to you. Thank you once again for joining us. Over to you.
Thank you, Bhavna, for that. It's been a while since somebody called me Miss Archana Vora. So feels good at 45 to still hold the Miss tag. But just to get to the point, I think, thank you for inviting me. As you introduced, I lead the Small and Medium Business Initiative for India. And as part of that, we look at all businesses agnostic to where they are in the journey. And I also look at the growth businesses for the Facebook family of apps in India. I just want to step back and really acknowledge how tough the time has been for small and medium businesses over the last couple of months, right? We've seen businesses shut down. We've also seen businesses in many cases reinvent the way they work and go from offline to online. So it's been like starkly different journeys on either side. And I'm so delighted that as part of this journey that we've had, being literally the home for SMBs in India, we have an initiative like yours, which basically also rewards some of these SMBs for the phenomenal work that they've done during this period of time. And I think the one other bridge I'd like to make is this period has also been a period where the true potential, I think, in many ways of SMBs have been realized. We've always said, right, that SMBs are nearly 30% of the GDP of the country. The government has offered enough and more support. But I think what really changed during this time in COVID was just the movement to digital. And we published a study along with BCG that spoke of the fact that digital influence specifically in urban geographies has gone up by about 15 to 20%. And what that really, really means is that people who are online are expressing larger intent to purchase. So in the same research, what we also learned was that 90% of the people that participated in the research said that they would want to continue to spend online, especially in the apparel category. We also had a learning that if it was, say, CPG as a category, 85% of them said that they would want to continue to spend online. And more importantly, I think there was one other bridge that was interesting, that not only did consumers say that they would want to continue to spend online, what they also said was that they would be willing to look at scaling their spends online. And I think that's very, very important, because what we've really seen during the pandemic, on one hand, is the resilience of the SMBs, the innovation of the SMBs, also the fact that SMBs have had dramatic optimism. But what we've seen on the market side is in response to that dramatic optimism, there's almost a ready market to lap up the wares that SMBs are now throwing out digitally. So I think it's been a tough time, but I think it's been a great marriage in many ways. And I think Facebook and the Facebook family of apps, right? So whether you look at WhatsApp, which the business app reaches out to nearly 50 million customers globally. In India, we service nearly 15 million SMBs. I think in pockets of WhatsApp, in pockets of Facebook, in pockets of Instagram, we've just realized how the platform has been used exponentially to drive business returns. And we've always spoken of stories, right? And it's just the best part about doing the role that I do, which is when you see businesses and customers successful. And one of my favorite stories is really the IHow story. So IHow is basically a collective of women entrepreneurs. And these women entrepreneurs actually service other women artisans. So to form a collective that retails some of the products that they build. Just during COVID, they saw nearly 157% increase in sales. They used the platform 3 times over. But most importantly, as a result of that, what they could do is they could bring together nearly 35 non-collectives as part of the Okhai bunch of collectives. And with that set, they could drive both business and value on the platform. So, these stories are extremely, extremely endearing because they tell you that the Indian SMB is not just supremely resilient, but now is also finding innovative ways in order to make sure that they scale their business much higher than they anticipated it to be, just pre-COVID. So I think those stories make it extremely, extremely inspirational. I think the other piece that we've been very conscious of as part of Facebook is also the fact that we've constantly said that we would want to be part of driving economic empowerment for SMBs, of making sure that they have the skills that they need, of making sure that they have the support that they need in order to come online and when they need it. So, for example, if you look at the OECD and the World Bank business studies on the state of SMBs globally and in India, what we saw was that nearly 35% of the SMBs who were on the Facebook platform said that they were going to face some kind of a cash crunch. And therefore, we proactively came up with our grants program. It was a 100 million grant that we released globally across, 30 different countries. India got a fair chunk of it. And we released nearly 4.3 million in grants to small and medium businesses in India across 5 cities where we have offices. So I think there's always been this very strong commitment at Facebook and to make sure that we understand the market sentiment and then we service to it. Similarly, we saw a significant surge in terms of businesses coming online to generate value for their own business. So, for example, just from an SMB universe perspective, there are more than 200 million SMBs on Facebook family of apps globally, and we saw a spurt in that as well. And in order to service that, we said, we will make sure that we will skill our SMBs much deeper. So as part of that, we launched an offline to online guide that could reach out to all of these customers and reached out to nearly 9 million plus customers. We took a step back and we said, okay, offline to online could be one of the areas where businesses need support, but they also may need support in regular running of businesses. So our Boost for Business flagship program reached out to nearly 4x customers, went completely virtual. We did a host of work around some of the skilling programs that we do in India, where we literally solve for vertical, we solve for cohort, we solve for size of business. And there, by the end of the year, we would have reached out to 3,000 plus customers. And we also partnered with the VC ecosystem, and we further scaled our VC brand incubator program, where we reached out to upwards of 150 businesses, and we made sure that they were enabled to come not just online, but also to scale their businesses online. So I think across each one of these pieces, we've been very, very deeply committed to making sure that wherever SMBs need us, so whether they need us in terms of funding support, or wherever they need us in terms of skilling and learning, or wherever they need us in terms of enablement, we are always present to make sure that they genuinely find home on the Facebook family of apps. And each one of these stories that come to us are extremely, extremely motivating. I think these stories get me to work every day. And I think on that note, I'm going to talk about another story. The story is really the story of Swastha Arogya. Again, a small business based out of Ahmedabad. And the business has really scaled nearly 40% YOY during COVID because just they've found the means to make sure that they can sell their product online. So I think we continue to stay deeply committed to small and medium businesses. We continue to stay committed to economic empowerment. Most importantly, we continue to stay committed to being the home and the heart of SMBs in India.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Vora. I just request now Ritu Maria, our editor-in-chief, Entrepreneur Media and Franchise India, to now take on certain questions for you, Ms. Vora. Over to you, Ms. Maria.
Well, thanks, Bhavna. And
Bhavna, you can call me Archana. I just feel fossilized when someone calls me Ms. Vora. Okay.
Oh, well, that was wonderfully put, Archana. I think you've rightly and sort of touched upon the need for SMEs to really rethink and redesign their business models with a larger power to leverage the social media and, of course, their business model being more digitized to be able to stay and be able to do more business during these times. So, we had a few questions and we would love to sort of ask you that, I've always seen that Facebook has had a big focus on consumer facing businesses, products, FMCG, and one can see it very clearly on Marketplace, on Instagram. But what are the game-changing initiatives you also plan to undertake for B2B services, even SMEs who are doing some kind of B2B exchange or manufacturing? Do you also see in the coming years these businesses, B2B businesses, becoming mainstream for Facebook?
Actually, I don't think we've ever sliced the funnel by saying we're about business A or business B. I think our product suite is not just free for customers. It's available for customers across verticals. So let me take a different slice. Let's look at our DA product, which is a dynamic ad product. It is a unique product that services e-commerce needs of customers. These are customers who may be looking at, say, I want to optimize for more customers, or I want to optimize for the size of my cart to be different, or I want to optimize for making sure that product A is sold more over product B, and obviously I want it to be targeted. I think across each one of our initiatives, we've been very, very conscious that they service customers across verticals, and we've never really said that, hey, we'll service only B2C and we'll not service any other alternate set of customers. So I think our products drive ROI. Our products are targeted. Our products make sure that everything from a customer to a geographic to a behavior can be selected to drive value and ROAS that we use the term ROAS in advertising, which is return on advertising spends, is always generated, which means that every time we plan a product, we have profitability of business in mind. And therefore, both B2B and B2C customers find value on our platforms across the board, across a family of products. DAO is one example. I could come up with a few more, but we're short on time, so I'll stop there.
Sure. And how do you think, you mentioned that today you're also sort of helping or skilling SMEs, but how do you think government can today play a bigger role in sort of supporting SMEs to be able to enable their digitization to happen faster and in a more in the right manner? So it should not take them a while for SMEs to be able to really make the best of the digitization, so to say.
I think the government is doing a lot as part of the Digital India program. And in addition to that, right, we've all read about the MSME loans, about infrastructural access that's being opened up for a lot of small and medium businesses. I think that journey needs to be ongoing, because what is clearly evident to us as we engage with small and medium businesses every day, and I do it for a living, is the fact that every piece across the funnel needs support. And I know the government is doing a lot around it, but I think it needs to be consistent. So for example, businesses need working capital support. Businesses need support in terms of just learning how to come online. मुझे नहीं पता मुझे आके page कैसे create करना है. And it's easier said than done, right? But if I run a kirana store, and I'm used to getting my orders either on WhatsApp or via phone call saying ye delivery mere ghar pe bhej do, it's not an easy journey to go online and tomorrow start getting orders online, right? So I think a lot of the learning, and in many ways we're also partnering with the government to support all of those initiatives. And most importantly, at the end of the day, I think just a cohesive support infrastructure. I think this digital mobility has driven the business world very differently over the last couple of months. And I think the government acknowledges that and has extended support. And we continue to support all of these initiatives of the government and continue to double down on the SME ecosystem.
And finally, let me ask you this: that what are particularly the digitization and digital tool adoptions that you have seen that SMEs have been able to do it very easily and therefore are able to maximize it?
I think there are a host. I think the first is just to start with, just coming on and creating a page on Facebook, which is really as simple as creating your profile on Facebook. So creation of business pages, I think, has seen businesses try and, especially the ones that go from offline to online. I think the second piece that's been very relevant is just the use of IGTV. During the pandemic, we saw nearly a 60% increase in the use of IGTV. So, that's the second piece, which is you go live and you could be on IGTV and you could, I could have these pair of glasses and wear them and say, hey, these are the great pair of glasses. They cost 500 rupees, and then convert the transaction over, my inbox or over a ping. So I think that's the second bit that's become very critical. I think the third bit that's also we've seen a lot of uptake on, and I spoke briefly about it, is just the use of our business app for WhatsApp. I think just in India alone, 15 million businesses utilizing it tells us the value that small and medium businesses see in terms of using WhatsApp as a platform, whether it is for customer reach outs or whether it is for a catalog conversation. I think a lot of that has also happened. And I think last but not the least, I think one other area which businesses continue to double down on is just our automated ads product, where you can come in and you can put in a budget and say, this is my objective. And then Facebook helps you really create a media plan that will be the most effective for your business. And I think that's been very, very relevant. And additionally, our Boost program, the fact that, our Facebook Boost India page gets a huge amount of conversations and traffic for people who come in and talk about what they should be doing on their businesses. I think across each one of these segments, we've seen a lot of uptake.
It's brilliant to see, the kind of work that you particularly done at the grassroots SMEs, because usually that sector is usually the most untouched. And when any such crisis or catastrophes happen, like a pandemic, they are the ones who would suffer the most. But I think thanks to your platform, there's been so much that SMEs have been able to drive in their business. And I only see it becoming bigger and better as time goes on. So thank you again, Archana. Thank you for being here and sharing this with us. And hopefully we'll see how SMEs can do to improve more. So any sort of last words from your side?
No, I think my last words are, we love being the home for SMEs, and we will continue to do what we do every day in terms of our commitment to drive both economic enablement and empowerment. And I think, thank you for your time, Ritu. And thank you for your time, Ms. Bhatia, for inviting me. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Archana.
Thank you. So I think I'm going to be referring it to as Archana only now from here on till the awards. So I'd really like to first of all thank Ritu. Thank you so much, Ms. Arya, for joining us for the Q&A. And now we'll be proceeding to our set 2 of the awards, where we'd request you to please kindly stay back for the awards category. So ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to be quickly moving on to our set 2 of the awards, and we're just going to be carrying on with that. So could we please have the awards now? So ladies and gentlemen, first up, the best tech for transport, and that goes to, let's see who the winner is, and that is none other than Civil Mantra Infracon Private Limited. Congratulations to Civil Mantra Infracon Private Limited. And this is all about delivering results with innovative ideas. Now, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to our next award, let's see which the next category is. We're talking about the best tech for SCM and logistics, and that goes to NICDC Logistics Data Services Limited. Well, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to this group for getting this award. Let's give them our virtual applause right there. And this group, it's all about bringing visibility and transparency in supply chain and logistics. Well, we were just expecting one of our people from the team to join us from the same, but congratulations to this group for winning. Now, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to our next category, which is the best tech for health, and that goes to, let's see who the winner is. Yes, it is L&T Technology Services Limited. L&T Technology Services Limited, congratulations right there. Our virtual applause coming to you. And as an organization whose core DNA is engineering, we are constantly seeking ways and means to engineer a better world around us. The two key qualities that drive this perennial endeavor are a collective conscience to develop new perspectives and an agile approach to adapt and overcome. So congratulations to the team. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now moving on to our next award, as you can see it on your screen, which is the best payment tech. And that goes to, let's see who the winner is. It goes to none other than Paytm. Congratulations to Paytm. Virtual applause right there, wherein our goal is to pursue the digital excellence, increase earning growth, and to pursue the crossing selling opportunities. So congratulations, Paytm, on the best payment tech. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now for the final award in this set, which is the best use of technology to drive CSR initiative. And let's see who that goes to. And that goes to Feeding India Zomato. So congratulations to Feeding India Zomato. Virtual applause coming right there for you. And well, in Feeding India Zomato, every meal matters. So ladies and gentlemen, that was for the awards of this set. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you in the next bit with another set of awards and our next speaker joining us. Thank you all for your time.